When working with bulleted lists, you aren't limited to just the standard bullet character. I can double-click to get inside this text area and click Paragraph Styles. I'm in the Typography workspace. In Paragraph Styles, you'll see I have a bullet style already set up. If you weren't using styles, you could highlight the text, and on the far right end of your control panel, you can get to the bullets and numbering settings. But since I'm using a style, I'm going to double-click on bullets and hit bullets and numbering. And if I click Add, Add will let me get to every character that exists in a font to choose an alternate bullet. In fact, you don't have to use just characters built into this font. If I choose something like Webdings or Wingdings or Zaftingbats, I have a whole other collection of characters that I can use. In this case, I'll use this little right-facing arrow. So I'll double-click to add that and hit OK, and then click once, and now all of my bullet characters are arrows. And depending on your original text, you may need to change the left indent or the first line indent to get those to line up for your new bullet character. There, that's a little bit cleaner. All right, and feel free to play with this on your own. So I could add another character and maybe try something like Wingdings or Zaftingbats, all the symbol characters that I have. So I'll go to Zaftingbats if you have it, and then I'll possibly try a hollow circle, like a drop shadow box. I'll click OK, click on it, and it's been applied. But I find that these are huge, so it can be helpful to use a character style to size these down. If I go to Character Style, I'll build a new character style from the panel menu and call this Bullets. In basic character formats, I'll choose the font Zaftingbats or Webdings or Wingdings or whatever I had selected, and I'll size it down to about half of the type size. I was in 9, so let's try 4 point. But when I click OK, this text was highlighted, so I'm going to make sure this isn't applied to my body text for the bullets. And I'll come back to Paragraph Styles and double-click on Bullets to bring it up. In Bullets and Numbering, I'll now choose the character style of Bullets, and they got smaller. So once that's been done, the next thing I like to do is shift these up or down on the line and maybe play with their size. So I deselected my text by clicking anywhere inside, and I'll go back to Character Styles and double-click on Bullets. Then I'll choose Basic Character Formats and size this up 1 point, and go to Advanced Character Formats and do a little baseline shift. I'm going to type 1 and hit Tab, and as long as Preview's on, I could see that it's shifting it up or down on the line. These look a little bit more oval than round, so I could even do a horizontal scale of maybe 70%. Or let's try 80%, and they start to look a bit more rounded. In fact, I'll zoom in with Command plus or Control plus, and then double-click on Bullets again so I can better eyeball this. In Advanced Character Format, I'll keep experimenting with my percent, and that looks far more round, so I'll click OK. And I'll choose Fit in Window, and we're going to use the Glyphs panel on the cover to add a graphic. So I'll click Pages and double-click on my cover, and draw a small text box and zoom in on it. In the Glyphs panel on the right, you could choose symbol fonts again, like Webdings or Wingdings or Zaftingbats. And if I hit the big mountains on the bottom right to zoom in, I could see all of these characters. I scrolled until I found a symbol that I liked, and I'll double-click on it to insert it. In fact, this is very helpful even if I was on Minion or Myriad, one of the built-in fonts. You could see a lot of custom characters like the trademark symbol. And as I scroll up or down, you could find foreign language symbols, math symbols, fractions, common fractions like a third, a quarter, a half. You could even build your own fractions. Here I found the degree symbol, or different variations of the letter O. When I delete, it goes back to webdings. And another spot to find symbols is type, insert special character, and symbols. There's your bullet, copyright, ellipses, registered trademark, trademark. But one last thing for glyphs that I'll show is I'll go back to Myriad Pro, and I want to build a custom fraction like 5 30-seconds. So I will choose numerators, and it puts in all the numbers that are smaller and on the top of a fraction. I'll double-click 5, I'll double-click the slash, and I always remember denominators are down, so I'll choose denominators, and double-click the 3, and double-click the 2, and I've got a quick, easy fraction. I'm going to delete those characters and go back to just my little movie clip symbol, and I'll find that movie marker again, double-click it to insert it, and I need to make sure that I'm in the proper font, webdings or wingdings, there we go. I'll get glyphs out of the way, and I'll go to my selection tool. And with the selection tool, I can convert this custom glyph or character to a graphic by choosing Type, Create Outlines. And now, this no longer requires that font. If I were to go to my direct selection tool and zoom in a bunch, you could see I can even edit the individual points or pieces on this graphic. It's no longer text. I'll undo that, and I'll fit in window, and I'll take that graphic with the selection tool and hold down Shift as I scale it up and finish it off by doing a lighter tint, 20%, and choosing Object, Arrange, Send to Back, and then positioning this where I'd like it on my postcard. So I've given you an overview of the Glyphs panel, and also using paragraph styles and editing your bullet style, and character styles to do custom bullets with smaller sizes where we use baseline shift to control the alignment.